The Adidas Adizero Pro 3 was the shoe that I ran my 2 fastest marathons in. And since then, I've been looking for a shoe to replace it. This year we have the brand new Adidas Adizero Pro 4. But is this new version going to replace the Pro 3? Well, there's only one way to find out. Let's take them for a run. And welcome to 40 Runs. My name is Chris Ford and I'm a running coach who loves to make YouTube videos about running shoes, race day vlogs, my marathon training, my running adventures, and loads of other cool, awesome stuff. Now in this video, like I said, we're going to be taking a look at the Adidas Adizero Pro 4. Now this is an important shoe for me, people, because like I said, the Pro 3 I ran my 2 fastest marathon times in, and I need a replacement. So how this video is going to work, we're going to go through what's new on the Adidas Pro 4. We're going to compare it against the Pro 3. I'm going to give you the things I've liked, things I've not liked on the Pro 4. We're going to talk briefly about a rotation, then we're going to wrap it all up at the end. I'm going to let you know my thoughts on the shoe. Now, before we do anything, we've got a couple of jobs to do. Firstly, I need you all to subscribe because we're trying to get to 22 million subscribers and we're very, very close. So if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. The next thing I need you to do is watch this disclaimer. Now with my arse covered, there's one more thing we've got to quickly do. And the last thing we need to quickly do is let you know that this is a sort of first impressions kind of video. I've done over 20 miles in this shoe, and that includes a long run, a progressive long run with some marathon pace in it. And you can check all my running out on my Strava profile. I really want you to go over there and follow me on Strava so you can see all the running I'm doing. You understand the fact that I am actually running in the shoes on this channel. Now we're going to follow this video up with some versus videos. We're going to compare it against the Endorphin Elite 2 and the Asics Metaspeed Sky Paris. We're going to race in it. We're going to do a time trial in it. And then I'm going to come back and report back on all of my findings and let you know how I have found the Pro 4 over this period of time that we've had it, and whether I'm going to be using it in a marathon in the spring. Got that? Okay. Let's get stuck in. Okay team, so here is the Adidas Adizero Pro 4 and I think it looks cracking. There is a really nice Eckerton colourway, like a silver and red, and I absolutely love it. Now let me know in the comments, are you someone like me who used the Pro 3 in some of those races in the past, and whether you PB'd in that shoe? The Pro 3 wasn't a very important shoe for me. Like I said, I ran my 2 fastest marathon times in that shoe. And that's why this shoe is genuinely very, very important to me. If this is not right, then we're gonna have to hunt about for an alternative. So stats and features. So the Pro 4 is £220, $250. It's 39 stack in the heel down to 33, that's a 6mm drop. Weighs 213 grams in my UK 9.5, and it doesn't necessarily fit true to size. I'll give you some more on that. We've got a bouncier new Light Strike Pro compound. There's a new geometry in the shoe with this very early stage toe spring / rocker, whatever you want to call it. We've got a new lightweight upper which features the light lock sort of ribbon that runs around the shoe. I'll show you that in just a minute. Adidas have borrowed over the energy rods placement from the Evo shoe, which is the £500 racing shoe. The good news is we've got a new lacing system and we maintain elements of Conti rubber on the outsole. Okay, so let's take a closer look at the shoe. So look, there's the light lock system that's going around the upper. So that's like a band that runs around the shoe to give you additional support in the upper. Here's the Light Strike Pro, the new squishier version. I'll compare that to the Pro 3 in just a minute. New lacing, which is good news. There's the energy rods. There's your cheeky bit of Conti rubber. You've got that written on the back. There's a closer look at the upper. And here you will see the profile of the shoe. And this is what I was talking about this much more aggressive point in which the toe goes up. This is borrowed over from the Evo, and actually in the Evo SL you see the same thing. This is the point, I think it's called like the fulcrum point, but basically 60% along, that goes up. So what that's meant to do is give you a much more aggressive feel of the toe. And I think that's about it in terms of taking a closer look. Now let's talk about the ride. So this ride is a lot more bouncier. It's even more responsive than Pro 3. And actually this is a good time in which to bring in the Pro 3. So here is the Pro 3. This is a pair I have to use over winter marathon training. Now look at the difference, right? So toe spring or rocker, sorry, in terms of the placement. So we're here, yeah? Can you see that? Now look at that. Can you see the difference? How much more it goes up earlier? Can you see that? Hopefully that is coming out on the camera. Yeah, it's much earlier in which the toe lifts up in this shoe versus version 3. Now, like I said, the lacing is being improved, which is great news because the lacing on version 3 was one of the big problems. The upper on the new version is much better. Coverage on the outsole is a little bit different. I really like the outsole on the old version, and this new one's a little bit different, but it's fine. I've ran this in the wet and horrible weather, and it's just fine. Weirdly, the fit's a bit different. I had no problem in terms of the fit with the Pro 3, but this one does come up a little bit shorter. Now, look at the foam difference. Let's see if we can get this coming out. Oh, I'm on the wrong side. So look, I don't know whether that's, I hate doing thumb tests, but I want to try and show you how much softer this is. Look at that, right? And I'm getting crap everywhere. Look, it's much harder. See how much firmer that is. And I'm applying the same amount of pressure. Look, I'm not trying to do some geometry test or some old rubbish like that. But what I'm trying to illustrate is how much softer and actually how much bouncier this new Lightstrike Pro is. But this is a very fun feeling ride. It really is bouncy. You definitely are feeling like here is the sweetest spot on this shoe. It feels epic here. Now for me, at this point, I am 750 per mile. Now, let me get my head into gear. What's that, about 4, maybe 5 minute kilometers? And then when I get down to like 730, which is like 445, bear with me in my maths, and like faster, this is unbelievable in here. It really feels nice. It's bouncy, it's, I don't know, it's springy. And it just feels like you can carry speed, which is what was so good about Pro 3. It is a lot bouncier and a lot more energy return feeling than Pro 3. And I love the Lightstrike Pro in Pro 3. But this is a sort of close match, close, but not close enough to the Saucony Endorphin Elite 2. We're moving towards that softer feel that you get in the Elite 2. And I think it makes a very good shoe. So that's the comparisons with the Pro 3. Now let's talk about that issue with the sizing. Now I've run this, like I said, on a long run. We've done 2 other runs in the shoe, and both of the sort of shorter runs, I wasn't so much of a problem. I had a normal sock on, like a shoe sock that I wear. But on the long run that I did, I really noticed that my foot was really far forward into this front of the shoe. And I had a thin sock on, but I really noticed it. And now that does make me think, and I was making me think as I was going along, do I need to go up to a UK 10? It's unusual because I've never had this problem with Adidas shoes, but this to me just feels a fraction too small. Now, I don't know whether I'm going to get away with it. It might, you know, move. Maybe, you know, in a race condition, it's going to be a little bit differently. Maybe I should, you know, play around with the lacing and all that kind of stuff. But at the moment, the sizing's a little bit weird. It's definitely different to what I felt in the Pro 3. Now, I do know that the Pro 3 has been problematic for others. So there could be that sizing issue coming over into Pro 4. So it's very, very important that you get it right, because if you're going to take this into a race like I potentially am, and that's why I want to do a race in the shoe and a faster like 5K trial in the shoe, and we're going to come back and report on that. They're the sort of things that will show up in terms of the sizing, so we need to come back on that. But as a pre-warning in this sort of initial thoughts, I am a bit worried about the sizing. Okay, so quickly on a rotation, I think this shoe fits lovely into an Adizero liner. I think you'd have the Boston 12 underneath it, and then I think you'd have the Evo SL. Evo SL with the Lightstrike Pro from Pro 3. Do all your daily miles, up tempo, that kind of thing. Boston 12 can do some of those faster efforts and take it long, and that's your race day shoe. Nice combo, hey? Although quite expensive. Right, so let's talk about things I like, things I don't like. I like the way it looks. I love the new Lightstrike Pro. I love this feeling off the toe that I'm getting. It is so bouncy and so responsive. I just love it. I like the fit in the heel. I like the new lacing. Despite the sizing issues, I like the upper. I like the outsole. I like the width. I like the weight, and the price is what it is. Dislikes. My only dislike is this sizing issue. If it was a better fit, this would be one of the best shoes out there. And that's the only sort of letdown or negative point I've got with the shoe. Other than that, this is giving me very good vibes. Now, what was nice on that long run, and again, go over to Strava, you'll see the run for yourself. It was progressive, yeah, so I was working through paces, marathon pace and below, and it felt great. And that's what I want in my marathon racing shoe. I want a shoe that makes me feel comfortable, but also very confident at holding pace. And the Pro 3 was excellent at holding marathon pace and quicker. But it was also a little bit stable if you started drifting out. I don't know, you got to like that 21, 22 miles and the wheels started to come off. It was absolutely fine at those paces. And on that long run, we put an element of that slower pace in that run. and it was absolutely fine. So look, let's conclude. I really like the new ride in this shoe. I absolutely love it. I just love that bouncy feeling. It's very similar to like the Elite 2 for me in terms of feeling, but that Elite 2, it's just that little bit wild, and I've well publicised it. It's given me issues in my little toe. It's really rubbed that up the wrong way, but I've had no problems in terms of that with this shoe. But the ride is bouncy, it's responsive. I don't know, I really enjoy running in the shoe at the moment. That long run felt effortless, and that's the biggest compliment I can give it, really. And that's why I like to do those longer miles in terms of the distance for these videos. Because for me, this is a marathon shoe. So if I'm trying to pick a marathon shoe, I want something that I know how it feels, you know, 18, 20 miles. And other than the sizing, this felt great. So there we go, people. That's my initial thoughts on the Adidas Adizero Pro 4. Now, if you're lucky enough to have a pair, let me know in the comments. How have you found the sizing? I'd be super interested to know about that. And I am questioning whether I need to go up to a UK 10. That is something I may investigate more towards spring when we get into marathon season and I'm looking to pick that marathon race day shoe, whether I need to go to a 10 and see what that feels like. Because in the New Balance SC Elite 4, I'm a UK 10, so that it could be that I just go up half the size and that sorts all the issues out. I don't mind a shoe that's a little bit more room in it, especially with this upper on there. I may get away with it. So we shall see and we'll report back. And like I said, right, this is a very important point. Firstly, everything that I do you can see on my Strava profile. And secondly, we are going to now take this out to a race because it is a racing shoe. We're going to do a 5K kind of time trial. We're then going to do a race over the Christmas period in the shoe as well. And then I'm going to wrap that all up and I'll come back and I'll report back in a sort of performance review, wrapping up my feelings on the Pro 4 once we've done all these bits and bobs. So let me know if that was useful. Let me know if you want me to cover something else with this shoe. Let me do that, please, sorry, in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave me today. We're trying to get to 22 million subscribers. And I know we're close, people. I do appreciate that. But you need to subscribe if you haven't already. But that's it from me. I'll catch you guys later.